So what is going on, guys? I'm Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Forsaken, another person that he is trying to manipulate, and we can find all of this in 3 brand new documents in the new Onslaught map, which is Echelon. If you don't have a PlayStation, well, at this moment in time you can't access these because Onslaught is only for PlayStation players. I believe it's coming to Xbox later on in the year, sometime around November, and I do find it quite unfortunate because there are loads and loads of pieces of intel you can find in the Onslaught maps. There are 3 for every single one of them, and because Onslaught is canon to the actual zombie story, they are all important, although not all of them are interesting, I'd say. However, some of them are, like the ones for this map. Pretty much, if you don't know, in every multiplayer map, an anomaly has appeared, a zombie outbreak starts, and there's usually some unique story revolving around what happened in each and every map. So taking a look at our latest one, Echelon, our first document is called the Devil's Mountain. It is for R. Weston, Officer Central Intelligence, from NSA analyst E. Jaworski, Field Station Berlin, and the subject is Reading Clearance Request for Berlin event. Sir, I am formally requesting assistance for a developing situation here at our Echelon listening station at Teufelsberg, aka The Hill. In the last several days, our team has been picking up a strange transmission from beneath the station. At first, we believed this was just a poorly redirected signal from another point of origin. After all, we do utilise a Ferris wheel as a signal amplifier, so we have had issues before. As we traced the signal though, we discovered it originated from below the sub-basement of our own facility. It's coming from underground. While these transmissions are infrequent, we have identified a pattern. We've received exactly 10 messages since last Wednesday, occurring at roughly 12-hour intervals. At initial listen, the messages are garbled nonsense. Our own instruments proved unable to decrypt anything intelligible. However, each message is the same length, with vocal pitches occurring at the exact same interval in each message. It's gibberish, but it's intentional gibberish. Someone is transmitting a repeating code. I should point out that the hill is not a natural elevation, but a man-made hill. Teufelsberg, meaning Devil's Mountain, is actually tons of rubble from the war piled atop of an unfinished Nazi military facility. According to our files, it was simply a matter of cost. It was cheaper to simply bury it than demolish it. It is from this buried Nazi structure that our strange transmission is broadcasting. I should also make it clear that I am not a superstitious man, but I heard rumours of a classified incident occurring at a certain Berlin checkpoint early last month. In fact, we intercepted 2 communications requesting assistance combating an otherworldly natural threat. These messages curiously went unanswered by Central. One mentioned an Office of Requiem. I did some digging and found it to be an office operating under DS&T. However, I lack necessary clearance to even identify who is running the office, let alone its purpose. Last month, an unnatural event at the checkpoint. This month, an unnatural signal beneath our feet. I do not believe in coincidence. There is a connection between these events. Therefore, I hereby request reading clearance to all files pertaining to the Berlin incident. If this request is denied and transmissions persist, we will be left no choice but to begin evacuating. We must find out what's going on down there, one way or another. E. Jaworski, Field Station Berlin. So we discovered that the map Echelon, which is named the Devil's Mountain, or Teufelsberg, was actually built on an abandoned Nazi facility. And what's been going on is, over the past week, they've been intercepting messages that have been coming from this abandoned Nazi facility. However, they don't know what these messages say. To them, it just sounds like random gibberish. The person writing this, E. Jaworski, also tries linking this to another event he heard of, an incident that took place in Berlin, which we know as Mauertoten. Everything that happened there to do with the zombies, the Forsaken, Omega, Requiem, all of that information is classified, so no one other than those people involved will know about it. E. Jaworski shouldn't know about the incident. The only reason he does is because they intercepted messages that came from that incident, and well, what he's trying to do is link the two. He thinks that whatever happened in Berlin to do with an otherworldly supernatural threat must have something to do with the messages they're receiving, which are coming from the abandoned Nazi facility buried beneath them. And he's writing to the Office of Central Intelligence saying, well, listen, I know there's a connection between these two. I want to know everything that happened in Berlin, and if you deny my request, I'll have no choice but to begin evacuating the facility. In the next document we found from Jaworski, which is named A Lovely Addition, he writes, by the time anyone reads this, I will surely be dead. I want to record the events that have transpired, with the intent that the person who finds this will have a better idea of what's happening than I do. If I had to make an educated guess, I would theorise a Requiem agent is reading this right now. You will probably mobilise a strike team to suppress the situation here and recover this letter off my dead body. Hell, you may have found me alive and had me executed to ensure my silence. Given the secrecy under which your department operates, it would not surprise me. In fact, I get it. Regardless, Requiem. Here's a summary of events. I'm sure it will make a lovely addition to your list of incidents. Hopefully it's helpful. Yesterday at 8:00, there was a loud crack, almost like a gunshot. It threw the station into panic, and we went into an immediate lockdown, thinking hostile forces had taken the facility. That part turned out to be true, but it wasn't the enemy we expected. It was something otherworldly. I suspect the same as what you encountered in Berlin last month. By 1200, half of our staff had been infected. A lethal barrier was identified, slowly spreading through the area. We were forced into the main building as the auxiliary buildings were consumed by this purple fog. One of the communications out of Berlin last month identified it as a lethal phasic barrier. I don't get it, but I'm sure it makes sense to you. By 1800, we were forced to the top floor. Undead hostiles had us cornered. Around 2330, they breached our floor. In the assault, I was separated from my colleagues. I do not know their fate. It is 0300 now, and I have secured myself in one of the radomes, or radomes, I don't know how you say that, but it goes on to say, I am not hopeful rescue will come fast enough. One additional detail I'm convinced is connected. Last week, we began receiving a strange, indecipherable transmission from the Nazi facility buried beneath the hill. I can confirm it is a repeating verbal cipher of some sort. We were unable to decode it. However, if you are who I think you are, you may have better luck. Requiem, by the time you find this, I'll either be dead or silenced at your hands. Do me a favour. There's an Angela Jaworski in Illinois. At least let her know I'm KIA. I don't care about the cover story, provided it's not embarrassing. She deserves to not be left in the dark, so she can at least move on with her life. And if this isn't Requiem reading this is all an elaborate prank. Haha, got you good, didn't I? So obviously the zombie outbreak has now happened at Echelon, and when they did arrive in this final document, which is for Weaver, from Heinrich Meyer, he says this: Sir, I wanted to inform you that the outbreak at Field Station Berlin on Teufelsberg has been quelled as of 1300 this afternoon. As you predicted, once again the team was assisted by the Ethereal Orb, which provided safe passage through the phase-filled outbreak zone. A confusing ally it may be, but an ally nonetheless. We believe the Berlin incident weakened the dimensional membrane at the Nazi facility buried beneath the hill. Perhaps the place bore some significance to the undead Nazi army. This began on Wednesday, March 6, when NSA analyst Jaworski first received the transmission from the Dark Ether. It wasn't until Monday that the barrier collapsed and the dimensional breach occurred. Per your request, Jaworski is en route to Langley as I write this. As I said in our earlier call, Jaworski proved invaluable to both fighting the Horde and securing the facility. This incident would not have been resolved so quickly were it not for him. Apparently, he caused a real stir with his clearance request, and Weston asked for his removal. I'm glad the director saw a benefit to keeping Jaworski around. Containment and security will be lucky to have him. Finally, we have successfully decoded the transmission, first discovered by NSA analyst Jaworski. The message is somewhat alarming. Eric, are you there? It's me, Angela. I need your help. I have been taken by something. I don't know where I am. It's so dark. I'm so cold. You have to get me out of here. You have to free me from this place. Please, I'm scared. Don't let me die here. I can help you find me. I will show you how. Please don't leave me alone. Given that this Dark Ether message is addressed to Jaworski and appears to be written by his wife, there is only one conclusion. The transmission is from the entity known as the Forsaken, an attempt to manipulate Jaworski and use him to break into our world. We should consider ourselves very fortunate he was unable to decrypt it. He may not have been able to resist the siren call. As of this communication, we are unable to locate Angela Jaworski. That information, and the above decryption, has not been shared yet with our analyst. I leave how best to handle that to you. So, there we go. We learned that the message that Jaworski couldn't decrypt was actually from the Forsaken, pretending to be his wife, so that just like he did with Valentina, like he may do with Zykov, the Forsaken tried to do the same thing with Jaworski by pretending to be his wife, so that if he did manage to decrypt the message, he would more than likely try to help her escape from the Dark Ether, unknowing that it wasn't actually her, it was the Forsaken. Unfortunately, like they say, he never managed to decrypt the message. Also, Jaworski is still alive. The director had him secured, otherwise he would have been killed or silenced. But yeah, another attempt, a failed one, of the Forsaken trying to escape the Dark Ether. He failed in Berlin, he's tried again, and you can bet he's going to try again and again until he succeeds, which we think probably is going to happen soon. So there we go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.